dozens of snakes plummet into the screaming crowd. Passengers scramble as vipers lash out from bags, seats, even the toilets. Chaos erupts in seconds. A couple dies locked in a lavatory, a child is bitten, bodies pile up, and the aisle becomes a river of blood and fear. In the midst of the madness, only one question remains: who survives 30,000 feet of terror? Let's dive straight into the movie. This movie is Snakes on a Plane, a high-altitude thriller where chaos erupts mid-flight as deadly snakes are unleashed on board a commercial airliner. With nowhere to run and panic spreading, survival depends on quick thinking, courage, and one unforgettable hero. On a sunny day in Hawaii, a young man named Sean Jones rides his dirt bike through a lush jungle trail, carefree and unaware of the life-changing event he's about to stumble upon. As he slows down near a bridge to take a break and drink an energy drink, his peace is shattered. A few feet away, a man is being savagely beaten to death with a baseball bat. The attackers, ruthless, professional, and clearly hiding something, finish their job quickly. Sean, frozen in shock, watches as the lead assailant, Eddie Kim, coldly delivers the final blow to a federal prosecutor. Sean makes a noise and the killers hear it. He flees, chased briefly but escapes unnoticed into the forest. Terrified, he knows his life is now in danger because he saw something he was never meant to see. Shortly after, the FBI arrives. Agent Neville Flynn, seasoned and direct, finds Sean and assures him that he'll be protected if he testifies. Flynn is confident and sharp. He knows exactly what kind of man Eddie Kim is, a crime lord with deep connections and a lethal reputation. Sean reluctantly agrees to testify in Los Angeles. For security reasons, the FBI avoids using commercial flights with names. Instead, they commandeer a commercial aircraft for a private flight, hiding Sean among passengers to avoid suspicion. But Eddie Kim is always one step ahead. Inside a warehouse, a timer-controlled crate is packed full of venomous snakes, varieties from across the world. Deadly cobras, vipers, constrictors. A mysterious man sprays an unknown chemical over a stack of Lay's, floral necklaces meant for welcoming passengers. This chemical is a pheromone, designed to agitate snakes and trigger violent attacks. The crate is loaded into the cargo hold of Pacific Air Flight 121, a Boeing 747, disguised as normal freight. The plan is elegant in its horror: unleash hundreds of snakes midair, kill everyone on board, and eliminate the key witness. No survivors, no testimony. Claire Miller, the lead flight attendant, is competent and focused. She coordinates the rest of the crew, including Tiffany, Grace, and Ken. In the cockpit, Captain Sam McKeon and co-pilot Rick prepare for takeoff, unaware that they're flying into a death trap. Among the passengers are a wide mix of people. Mercedes, a wealthy socialite with a spoiled chihuahua named Mary Kate, rapper 3GS with his two bodyguards Troy and Big Leroy, a honeymooning couple, two young boys, an arrogant businessman, and several others, all expecting nothing more than a routine trans-Pacific flight. Once airborne, the plane climbs smoothly into the clouds. Drinks are served, passengers settle in, and the mood is calm. But below deck, the clock ticks. In the cargo hold, the crate opens. A tangle of snakes slithers out, hungry, aggressive, and drawn to the pheromones now mingled in the air above. Their journey begins silently, crawling up through the walls, ventilation shafts, and under seats. The first casualties are a couple seeking privacy in the lavatory. Lost in passion, they don't notice the snake coiling behind them. Without warning, it strikes, biting the man in the neck, then the woman. Panic silence behind a locked door. Meanwhile, a man uses another lavatory. A snake emerges from the toilet, biting him fatally. It's grotesque, but the other passengers remain unaware of what's beginning to unfold. In the cockpit, Captain McKeon investigates a power issue caused by a snake chewing on a wire. He opens a panel and is bitten directly in the neck by a venomous serpent. He stumbles back, convulses, and collapses. Rick assumes the captain suffered a heart attack and attempts to stabilize the plane alone. Meanwhile, below, chaos begins. Snakes pour out from vents into the main cabin. They crawl into bags, under chairs, and onto unsuspecting passengers. A sudden oxygen mask deployment creates the perfect storm. Snakes drop with the masks from overhead compartments, biting, slithering, spreading terror. Screams fill the plane as the snakes attack without mercy. An elderly woman is bitten repeatedly, her face contorted in agony. One of the boys from the family is bitten, and his little brother screams in horror. In seconds, the flight turns into a war zone. Flynn and Sanders draw their guns, but it's impossible to protect everyone. Claire and her team try to maintain order but can barely manage the wave of terrified passengers trampling each other in panic. As people stampede toward the front, Agent Sanders is bitten while trying to rescue someone and dies shortly after. With the cabin nearly overrun, the survivors retreat to first class. Flynn helps them barricade the stairwell using a blown-up life raft, sealing themselves away from the swarm below. Flynn contacts FBI agent Hank Harris on the ground, who immediately begins investigating. They need to know what species of snakes are on board to get the correct anti-venom ready in Los Angeles. Flynn and Claire send photos to Dr. Stephen Price, a snake expert. Price studies the images and confirms the situation is dire. Multiple venomous species, each requiring specific treatment. Time is running out. Rick, now the sole pilot, continues flying, but the snakes aren't finished. One climbs into the cockpit and strikes him. Losing control, Rick slams on the yoke, sending the plane into a sharp nosedive. Claire and Flynn move Rick's body and try to re-enter the cockpit, but snakes have taken over. Flynn knows they need a new pilot. He turns to Troy, one of 3GS bodyguards who once mentioned flight simulation experience. Under pressure, Troy confesses he's logged hundreds of hours in simulators but has never flown a real plane. With no other options, Flynn believes in him. They work together to get Troy into the cockpit. But the snakes block their path. Realizing there's only one option left, Flynn shoots out a window, causing a sudden decompression. The vacuum pulls dozens of snakes out of the aircraft, including those in the cockpit. It's a risky move, but it works. With Rick's body removed, Troy takes the controls. Flynn guides him via radio communication with ground control. On the ground, Agent Harris arrests the snake supplier, forcing him to talk. He confesses Eddie Kim ordered the hit, confirming the plot. Meanwhile, Dr. Price prepares an array of antivenoms, awaiting the plane's arrival. Troy navigates the descent with shaking hands and a terrified heart. Flynn relays landing procedures over the radio. As the runway nears, the entire cabin braces. Troy flares the aircraft, and with a screeching thud, they land hard, tires burning. The plane skids but stays intact. Emergency responders swarm the aircraft, rushing inside with medical aid and antivenoms. Paramedics treat the injured immediately. Sean exits finally safe. Flynn follows, his jacket torn, his face worn but determined. As they reach the terminal, a last twist of fate strikes. One surviving snake lunges at Sean from a panel. It sinks its fangs into his chest. Flynn draws his pistol and fires. The snake dies instantly. Sean collapses. But to everyone's surprise, he stands moments later, alive and unhurt. His bulletproof vest stopped the fangs from penetrating. Flynn jokes about shooting him and they both laugh through their exhaustion. In the final scene, Sean invites Flynn to Bali as a thank you. The two share a moment on the beach, surfing together under a peaceful sky. The storm is over. The snakes are gone. The witness is alive. Justice will be